Hey up everybody, my name's Jonny Mozza, director of Jonny Mozza's Lessons in Confidence, and today very happy to say that day 2 of filming is complete, and I would like to show you some of what we did and talk a little bit about the day, what went right, what went wrong, what we can learn from, etc, etc. So this was an indoor filming day, so we were filming at my friend Oscar's house, and we had a few scenes set out to do. We had this morning-y kind of scene that we needed to get done. Then we had a rehearsal scene with Lee Westwick. Then we had 2 night scenes, and that was going to wrap everything up. So I said to everyone, let's get there for 1, okay? Lee comes to my house, picks me up in the car, and then we start heading over to the location, which we gave ourselves enough time to actually get there. However, all of our safety net time was eaten up by one woman driving some small Hyundai, like a yellow Hyundai 04 plate, I think it was. And she held up an entire residential road. About 20 cars were waiting on this person to... They tried to constantly reverse, but somehow I don't think they knew quite how to reverse. So I can't drive, right? But I think I could have done a better job doing this than her. Honestly, it was like this, and there's all this sort of smoke coming out of the exhaust, and I was eating my knuckles. Just honestly, so frustrated. Just I wanted to get out of the car and just push that car out of the way, but there wasn't any space to push it into, and eventually the car ends up getting out of the way, and guy stops in a big white van. He's like, "Who passed her test for her then? Bloody joke!" And we go, "Yeah." And yeah, so we ended up getting there a bit later than we actually anticipated. We ended up getting there half an hour late, partly in thanks to that, partly in thanks to another traffic jam that was on the A40. Both of which, so we had higher traffic than expected, plus this one incident which completely ruined us. So and I gave myself 2 hours of to get somewhere that I knew we could get to on what Google Maps said. Google Maps said we could get there in 34 minutes. And it took us over 2 hours to get there. So yeah, always be conservative with how long you think something is going to take. If you think it's going to take an hour, set aside 2.5 hours for it, just in case, because it's better to have too much time than not enough. Bollocks. There we are. So I'm going to show you a bit of what we did. Let me find it. So this was all the stuff that we shot at my friend Oscar's house. Thank you so much, Oscar, for allowing us to use our residence, because it really made everything really come together. It's such a beautiful location. Me and him and another friend, Toby, who's playing the role of Izzy Insane in the film. We'd go there and we'd kind of have a jam, and we kind of try and figure out stuff for a band we wanted to start. And not much ended up coming of that, but the whole time I was there, I was looking around, I just felt like this is such like a 90s kind of feeling place. I feel like I'm somewhere in the past right now, and I love it, and I really want to convey it on screen. And Jonny Mozza just felt like the perfect fit for it. In fact, one of the first shots that I envisioned of this entire film is one that we got today, and I will show you that shot. It's a shot from the rehearsal scene. So me, Jonny Mozza, Oscar, who plays the character of Oliver, who's like an old friend, close, almost brotherly kind of character to Jonny Mozza. And then there is Lee Westwick's character, Mickey Doherty, who comes along, who's a keyboardist for our rehearsal. So I'll show you that first, because that's some of the last stuff, isn't it? Right, so here's what we did. Let me just, yeah. All right, so there's a little bit of a chase sequence here. That's something we're filming on Monday. So I'll update you again once that's complete. So here we've got Oscar, Lee, and me, and we're all going into the house to do a rehearsal. I've managed to get these people together for the band, and now I need to try and keep them together. So let me turn the volume up, actually. How do I turn the volume up? Hang on. Right, yeah. So this is the first shot I envisioned for the entire film. And I'm so happy with how this came out. I love this on the sides, kind of almost turning it into this 4:3 kind of looking angle. I knew from the moment that I began making this film that I wanted to get this shot. Every time I would ever go to Oscar's house, I would see this shot and I just thought it needs to be conveyed. And because it was a band contest, I thought what better to have than the three of us jamming out trying to make some music. And we actually set out with the goal of making something that sounded purposefully terrible. And to be honest, I feel like what came out of it was quite decent in a very avant-garde sort of way. The first take that we did that was before this is actually pretty good. It's weirdly good. Even that, I'm purposefully going out of the... we played in C major, right? Because that way Lee could just hit just the white notes of the keyboard. Lee's not like a super experienced keyboardist or anything like that. And like, I'm not a super experienced guitar guy, and Oscar's not a super experienced bassist, so I figured all of these three elements could come together to show a band that's still in its infancy. Which, but I didn't want to make the music just sound like crap. I just wanted the music to sound real. Like whatever we could do, we're trying our best, and this is the result of us trying. This one, I'm semi putting some little fucky like purposefully off kilter kind of notes in there, like. Not really thinking about the scale, not really thinking about anything, kind of doing it a bit chromatic, just so that you get some of these awkward notes in between that makes you feel a bit, ooh. So this scene I didn't script out whatsoever, and I didn't really want to script it out because the point of this I knew was that the scene would unfold in the way that it unfolds, and that's just the way that it would be. There's three basic beats. The first beat is this rehearsal. The second beat is me showing the rest of them this music video.
Me and Oliver, when we did this shit. I think you can sing. I can't, but I don't know 4 or 5
Okay.
years ago.
I've kind of messed up the editing of this bit, but I need to go back and do it anyway. So yeah, the first beat is the jam. The second beat is me showing them a music video, which is a real music video for a song that I did a long time ago that I do actually want to record properly and with a real vocalist and not me screeching over it. So yeah, then Lee tells me that I can't sing, and Oscar Oliver agrees with him, and I kind of storm off. The first time I did it, I stormed off way too angrily. So in the second, third takes, I tried to make it go like a bit softer. So I sort of go, I'm going for a fucking pint. So now I foresee like a later scene maybe where I'm in the pub and Oscar and Lee's character have to kind of come up to me, and maybe Lee's character leaves the band and Oscar's kind of there to pick up the pieces kind of thing, because Oscar's character of Oliver is someone that you know, you've got that friend that is just like there for life, you know, that one friend that like you'll come and go, but you're always joined at the hip in that way. That's what Oscar's character is. And so far, I feel like everything we've shot, I feel like Oscar is a bit of a grumpy bastard throughout the whole thing because of what he has to do in these certain bits. Like, there's like he's constantly got to go to work and come back from work and stuff like that. So I'll show you all that in a sec. So yeah, we did all this. Do you ever go to the Duke of York?
Yeah, it's quite nice.
So I like this shot, and I kind of like the idea of maybe experimenting with different aspect ratios across the film. Like having 16:9 as the widest, and then experimenting by doing a bit of that, maybe a bit of that, a bit of 1:1 like that, maybe even some vertical for a second. That kind of thing, rather than experimenting that way in the typical, like, you know, Michael Bay, Transformers, Christopher Nolan, Dunkirk kind of way. So we could experiment with aspect ratio going this way, which, I mean, we've already done there's a bit of 4:3 stuff, like right at the beginning, which we did on day one. And there's going to be more of that kind of thing as we use more of the Digicam, which I don't have on me at the moment, but it's such a beautiful little piece of equipment. You can get these really cool little zoom-ins just with this digital zoom type thing. But I mean, it's an optical zoom, but you control it digitally, so it's very, very smooth. It's so much fun to use. This scene, I like having scenes play out in one continuous shot for this film. I want as many scenes as possible to just require one shot. Now, this, I figure, what's important here is that my character is hungover. I've just woke up in a mid-days. I'm like, oh of my head. And Oscar, you can kind of see, is like, he's busying himself up, he's packing stuff, he's getting ready for work. Right, so there's that conflict there. And he's still cool with me, and he gives me a coffee in this scene, and blah, blah, blah. So we're still getting on, but you can sense that Oscar is probably kind of annoyed at my character. Oscar's character is probably a bit annoyed at my character, and that's going to turn up in terms of the heat going further on in the film. Then we did this sequence, which I loved doing so much. Now, my phone, this is a real story, not really a story, but my phone is a pain in the ass to charge. If I want to charge it, I have to put the cable down sort of like that, and then I have to put something on top of the cable so that the cable stays in the phone and actually charges the phone. Otherwise, it will just immediately come out again and uncharge because it's so loose. There's not like that lock-in mechanism in it anymore. I think I must have broken that or something, so I have to keep like a book or like something heavy on top of the cable just to actually keep it charging, and then I have to really like that force my way in like that. And I thought it would be so fun to combine that with you know, when you're in bed and like you've got to kind of get up to do something, but you don't really need to get up, so you try and not get up, so you're kind of leaning out, and by the end you're kind of like leaning like this, like that. That's kind of what we did with this sequence. So I need to get my phone charged. I'm going to take my phone out in a second, and you can see that I'm in a bit of a wreck. This is your first introduction to the character's home life. His phone is dead, he needs to charge it. What's he going to do? So he needs to get up, he needs to get all the way over here, which I need to put in an in shot of that actually, I think. So yeah, you got this fun sequence of me trying to charge the phone, and I think this is a good moment for like that kind of slapsticky kind of comedy. Also, this is kind of relatable. This has happened to me in real life. Yesterday, I bought like a tub of like Ben and Jerry's style, like the Lidl version of the Ben and Jerry's ice cream, right? And I had it upstairs, and I was, you know, eating it, and I had maybe half of it, right? And so I left it to the side, and I was doing the editing for this. I was editing this. So I finished off the edit. Maybe an hour passes in that time. I think, okay, I'm going to take the ice cream downstairs. So as I'm going downstairs, I'm kind of drinking bits of the remaining ice cream. And I drink it, and it right goes up my nose like that. And I just looked in the mirror. I saved it to look in the mirror, and I realized that's such a perfect physical bit of intrigue right there. That's something that could happen in real life to Jonny Mozza. So I want to do a scene where he's drinking some ice cream, and that ends up happening. He gets on his nose, and maybe it combines with him like being out in public or something like that. Maybe like he has to talk to Malcolm, the venue manager, or something like that, while he's got this ice cream, almost like Hitler moustache on his face. So yeah, we did this, right? So I told Hadid, who was filming it, I want you to shake the camera when it shows this shot. Purposefully shake the camera, because it shows like the struggle. And it's almost like, I don't know, from this point of view, it's almost like he's achieved out orgasm or something like that. It's so satisfying seeing him actually finish this. I hope you can actually see all of this. I just realized maybe I need to have it more up like this. So yeah, we did all this. We went, oh yeah, shush, 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 because I don't need to listen to me grunt and groan. So what we did is we started at 1:30. We filmed all the morning stuff until about 5:30 with the rehearsal scene. So that's this scene, the scene that I just showed you, and then the rehearsal scene which I showed you first, all of which was done in under 4 hours, which I think makes pretty good time. That's also including all the setting up, all the taking everything out of the bags, unloading it from the car, putting it in the house, and then putting up all the lights, setting up everything like that, blah, 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 right? Getting in costume and sorting out the lav mics and all that prep that you need to do right beforehand, right? I made sure to do that before Hadid got there. I wanted to have everything ready to go when Hadid came. So all we needed to do was have a quick like introduction. Hey Hadid, here's Oscar, here's Lee. Hey Hadid, I'm Lee, or I'm Oscar. How you doing? Yeah. Do you want a drink or something? Yeah, I'll have some water. All right. And then you can just go, right, should we get into it? Hell yeah, let's do it. Then you do like 4 hours of work, you have a break, and we decided to go for a walk down to the local co-op where I was going to get some food for everyone. So I thought there's this deal that said 2 pizzas, a side, and a drink for £10, and I was like, that's a good deal for my crew. So I thought, right, I'll get that. So I'm a bit confused by the deal. So I asked the guy that works there, can you so what drink can I get? And he picks up this 4-pack of Pepsi Max and he goes, this. Okay, thanks. So I take the 4-pack of Pepsi Max, 2 pizzas on the side, and we go to the checkout. After we're in the queue, we get there and get scanned through. This is meant to be £10. He tries to charge me £22, and I'm like, what? He goes, oh yeah, no, wait, hang on. And I sort of go, well, it says on the sign that there's a deal. You can get all this stuff for £10, and he kind of goes, all right, he points to his coworker, can you go check? And she goes to check. She's gone for like 5 minutes, right? And in that time, I have a peek round the corner, and I see her just like this, like trying to figure out the deal. And because apparently this deal is so complicated, even the staff are having trouble trying to figure it out. So she comes over, she's like, yeah. She's also brought back a pack of sausage rolls, which I think she's doing to like bypass the scanning system or something like that. Maybe this is replacing the side that we wanted. I feel like the issue was the side was wrong, but like no one knew what the issue was. So after about 10 minutes of other customers coming in and all this stuff, they eventually call the manager. The manager comes down after 5 minutes and he gets informed of what the situation is. Right, these guys are trying to pay first thing and for some reason it's not coming up properly. So he then goes to check the aisle, and I see him down there like this, trying to figure out what the deal is. And after 5 minutes he comes back and he goes, yeah. And then you've got the 4 of them, 4 people working at this cup, all stood around the monitor like this. Okay. And then they kept doing that, right? And we're standing there. I'm getting very impatient. I'm a very patient person. That I started sort of going. We are kind of in a hurry. We need to go because we're in the middle of filming and it's kind of eating into our time. And like, I'm sort of saying to Oscar, this is fucking ridiculous. Like, yeah, I know. It's like, and we're having that little bond where it's like, yeah, fuck these people, fuck this, like, what's going on here? This is ridiculous, kind of thing, that you do when you're inconvenienced in this sort of way. 25 minutes later, after all of that, 25 minutes has gone, and finally, I'm able to pay for my thing, pay my £10, and walk off with it. And that ate up so much of the time that I made the executive call to cut the last scene that we were going to do for the day and just do that another day. Oscar was cool with the idea of me filming there again, so we decided that we were just going to do that scene another day because that's an important scene. I'm not going to tell you what's in the scene, spoilerific, but it's an important scene that I did not want to rush, and I could not rush it and the last thing I want to be doing on this film is rushing things, because when you rush, I've just noticed that the tripod is there. Can you see it? I've just noticed that. Oh, shit. We are planning on redoing this shot anyway, because Oscar told me... I think Oscar actually told me that was there. He also told me that the bike was there, and the bike shouldn't be there anymore. Which is, yeah, that's a continuity error. So we might redo that. It's just a one shot. So that's fine. It's because we set everything up for the next scene, and then we just remembered that we needed to get this one very quick thing. So we just did that very quickly. And then, yeah, after this, he turns the phone on, realises he's got a Universal Credit appointment, and he has to rush out the door. Then finally, this was the final scene we did of the day. And this is one lesson I would like to put on to you, is that I like doing half days now, because when you start to have a break, it becomes quite hard to get back into the flow state. If you come out the flow state and start chatting and bantering and having a bit of fun, having a break and stuff, having some food and a drink or whatever, it becomes a bit harder to actually get back into the flow state. So this is going to be a shot I think I'm going to 4-3 up, because I really like it. It's similar-ish to the first shot I showed, one of the first shots I showed you. I've come in, I'm a little bit drunk, and turning the TV on, and then Oscar's character gets in, and he's knackered and he wants to go to bed. So it's that kind of thing. And that's basically everything that we filmed today. Yeah, we've gotten everything done apart from that one scene, and I'm glad that we didn't actually do that scene, because now it means that I can put serious time and effort into making sure that scene is perfect. So we're planning on doing that on Monday the 4th of November, pending availabilities. Then in the meanwhile, next week we've got 3 days that are all quite small, but they lead up to big things. So first, tomorrow we've got the Universal credit scene, which I showed you where it's going to go on this. Demetrius and Hadid are coming down to Hanwell Library, and we're going to film everything there. They said that I could film there for £15 an hour, so we're going to do 3 hours there, £45. I was really struggling to find an office location, so I wanted ideally to get one for free, but you know, it's hard to get that kind of location, so I'm happy to pay that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the other Universal credit scenes. I'm going to have them probably in a different looking office. Maybe I have it so that he gets pushed onto another job centre or something like that. I also think I might include a subplot of Jonny Mozza trying to quit smoking, because I bought a pack of straights for Jonny Mozza to smoke, and I had to smoke about 10 of them, and I'm not a heavy smoker. I don't like smoking straights. They really fuck my lungs up, and don't smoke, especially just for the sake of a film. I mean, it looks really cool, and I'm so glad that I actually did it for that, but I was very tired yesterday, and kind of struggled to get my 2 videos done yesterday, and yeah, I was just sort of lethargic, and my lung hurt slightly, and my throat hurt, and yeah, I don't smoke much. I have like, what I do, I might have a roll up if I'm going to do like a video, and then I might have a roll up at the end of the night, and that's it. And they're quite small roll ups, and I tend to use American Spirit, which is like the lightest tobacco anyway. So yeah, I'm going to include a subplot of him trying to quit smoking, which could then come back around if he relapses on cigarettes at the end of the film. It also means that I don't have to smoke for the rest of the film. So yeah, that's going to be good. And I think that's going to be about everything. Yeah, I hope that you're doing well. Big lesson for if you're starting to do your first shoot. Everyone is much happier to finish early than finish late. So don't worry about saying to someone, oh yeah, we're going to finish at 11. You know, because you're thinking, oh God, if we finish at 11, that's quite late for them. So you say 10, you try and rush it, and then you end up leaving at 11 anyway. That person is now kind of more irritated than if you had said, yeah, we're going to finish at 12, and then you finish at 11. It's better to be conservative with the times and expect everything to take longer than it actually will take, which I was, and I ate up until all that time, and we had to cut a scene anyway. So this is why I want to do more small 4 or 5 hour shoots rather than this, which was more of like a 9-hour shoot. Don't particularly like doing them too much, but I'm glad that we got everyone together. Hadid and Oscar and Toby and Lee, everyone got to mingle and intermix and have fun conversations. We had a bit of a jam together, and it was a really fun time, and I'm so glad that we did it, and I'm so glad to have everyone on board for this film, and I'm so thankful to everyone, and so thankful to you for watching these videos, and you know, the views and the watch time and all that is really motivating me to actually get so much done and do so much, because I feel like I've got something to do it for, and I'm really happy to see what's going to happen with that. So I'm really excited to show you what's going to be next on day 3, which I will be updating you on sooner rather than later. I'll probably be releasing that video on Tuesday, or possibly even tomorrow. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a brilliant rest of the day. I hope everything goes well for you, and I hope that your film set goes smoothly, and I hope nothing goes wrong. And please remember to be conservative with your times. Okay, do not try and pack so much stuff in, because all you will do is tire your crew out. And the fuel of a shoot is the morale. So that's a story for another day. That's a topic for another video. And yeah, I'm going to head off. Thank you again for watching this. Have a great rest of the day. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.